excitement, entertainment, and a true message. And it wasn't a stereotypical put together message. It was one that truly came from the heart.
My experience today was phenomenal. I think that if anyone has an opportunity to have Foster come speak to them, they should definitely take advantage. I don't know if you've been around 6th through 12th grade students, but they're very hard to engage with, especially early in the morning, and that was no problem here. Kids heard the message, enjoyed it, were already buzzing about it afterwards, so I think it was a pretty big hit.
It was amazing. Foster did an awesome job. I think he really connected with the kids. Looking at the kids in the audience, you could see a lot of head nods, them really locking in, as he said, throughout the conversation, and just being there. I think it really set well with them.
What is up? Welcome back to the Underwater FlyZone podcast. Excited to be here. Always ready.
Let's
How
get
are you
it.
feeling?
I'm doing all right, bro. 4th of July just went down. My
Yes.
favorite holiday of the year. But we talked about last week. My favorite holiday activity-wise.
Yes,
And it was
absolutely.
great. It rained, though. That was unfortunate.
You know, it was a better day than I would have thought considering the way the weather was.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still had a good day despite that. I did laundry yesterday so I could wear this shirt.
There we go.
I wore it all day Saturday, but I did laundry yesterday so I could wear it again today.
Let's
It's very
go.
comfy. I'm a big fan of it. So
I'm wearing something from the new YPLJ merch drop that is actually out now. This is dropping at 5 on Thursday. The merch drop's also at 5 on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So, boom. Go cop it. UWFZ.store.
yeah,
Free shipping code to come.
something after we recorded last week's episode where we were talking about liking the 4th of July. I don't know if I saw it somewhere or if I thought of it myself. It probably saw it somewhere. 4th of July is like the only friend holiday, whereas pretty much every other holiday is a family holiday. And
That's
it's
probably true.
interesting because you and me still spend time with our family on there just because like we have a good relationship. But
Yeah.
it is the only holiday, like Thanksgiving, you're going to go with your family.
Yeah.
Christmas, family. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's really the only one of the major holidays, which I guess now that I say that, it's like New Year's Eve.
And
is a
Halloween.
friend. That was always a family one for me.
That's true. When you were a kid, it was
But
always
that's true.
family.
Maybe I'm just lying, and it's just
I don't know.
Christmas
Because
and
I thought I was
Thanksgiving
like,
are family
well,
ones.
Halloween in college was actually every holiday in college, besides the
Yeah.
big ones where you actually went home for it. But yeah, Halloween was. I don't even really do anything for Halloween anymore, though.
We did something last year. We did a themed like Halloween party, and I think we were talking about maybe doing one again this year.
Yeah.
Now that we have a house.
Dude, okay, I just want to start this off by saying this year on the 4th of July, my song, Born in the USA, was a lot more popular than normal. Do you agree? I heard it way more than normal from other people.
I feel like this year, because it was the 250th, it was more than just like it's the 4th of July. Like there's been hoorah about it.
Yeah.
So I think that there's just been more. Normally it's like just on that day there's patriotism.
Yeah.
Versus this year there was like a little bit leading up to it and around it.
And the World Cup, and tonight's the big game.
A lot of Patriots.
By the time this comes out, they'll know what's going on.
Yeah, it's a few hours from now.
Yep.
We got our guy playing.
Yep. He's back.
The forward. That was very interesting.
I don't know. I don't know
Situation.
the whole situation really, but he's playing. I'm
I
happy.
know the basis of it is they can suspend a red card violation.
Yeah.
But he's now in a probation period, I think for a year. I don't know if it's just international games or not. And if he gets another red in that time, he would basically have to sit 2 games because you sit the new suspension and the old one.
Yeah.
But I don't really care because as long as it gets through this
Oh
World
yeah,
Cup,
this is all that matters. Yeah.
and he's big for our goal scoring. So
Watch him get a red card in the first 30 seconds or
that'd
something
be
crazy.
tough.
Be tragic.
That'd be tough.
If I just spoke it into existence, oh my
yeah,
goodness.
you guys know what happened.
Yeah, for real. No,
but
anyways.
yeah, it was a good weekend. Good 4th of July. Got to see you. That was a good time. I am going to jump right into it. We
Let's
got our
do
game
it.
of the week. What do you think? What do you got any thoughts about what game we might play?
Dude, I have no idea. I feel like, did you say something about it though?
No, not at all.
Okay, then I really don't
So
know.
I did tell you of a game I thought about, but I don't think I'd ever do.
Yeah.
But maybe I
something
will.
like that.
About where I give you an opinion and you have to defend it.
Yeah, that's
Like no matter what.
that's
But I
we
feel like
talked
that's
about.
tough to like throw on you on the fly.
I'm down for it though. We'll do it
I
sometime.
might. I feel like I'd have to think of the right prompts to make that entertaining.
Yeah,
But
probably.
this week we're doing Would You Rather.
Oh goodness.
So I'm going to do some Would You Rathers. We're going to talk about which side we would take on those.
Okay, let's get it.
So this is just a would you rather do this thing or not do this thing.
Okay.
The first one. Would you rather go back to age 10 with all of your current memories or not? And now let me walk through. So that sounds lame. Let me walk you through some of the pros and cons of why you would or wouldn't. So the reason you would is like right now, obviously you know quite a bit more than you did at 10 that you could use to your advantage.
Yeah.
Both like the kind of like, oh, invest in this thing, do this thing, whatever. But also just you're more mature. Some of those downtimes you wouldn't have, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But you risk, the odds are your life is not, you wouldn't be able to get back to this exact point.
Yeah,
you might
for
be able to
sure.
improve on other things, but you might not be able to other. And so you're kind of taking that risk of, could you improve on enough things to lose out on others?
So go back to age 10 and you just start over from there?
Yes, but you know all you know now.
Or I don't.
Yes. Yes.
Well, if it was for like one day, I would say I don't know what I know now.
Your life resets.
Exactly. So if it was like for one day or 1 week, I would say I don't want to know what I know now because I would just want to be that innocent 10-year-old again.
Yeah.
But if I had to go start over from age 10, I would rather take everything I know because I feel like I'd be way farther ahead right now than I would be.
So so basically you'd go back to age 10
And if you think about
and
it,
kind of retry life.
yes, but I would take in my knowledge that I already have, which means I already lived out my 10-year-old self. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm
So-
like, I already had that innocent time.
So-
let's start over at 10 and let's just start
Here's-
the business at 10 years old.
Here's the question. Do you, like you and Macy, like you guys are obviously great. Do you think that there's like, you have a chance of messing up with messing something with that or some of the like good friendships you have now where like if you get too ahead of the business, then maybe it's like, oh, I can't go to college because the business has popped and you don't go to Maryville, lose on
Dang.
friendship. That's
You
the
know
other
what?
side of the coin.
You changed my mind. I'd go back without any memory. You're right. You're right. That's a good. And now I think me and Macy would still be able to.
Yeah, and it's not a for sure no. It's just
Yeah.
you risk. So I will be honest. I think you've misinterpreted what I meant.
Okay.
I meant you either go back to age 10 with all your memories or you like just stay here. Like in this time, not you go back without the memories.
Okay.
So you either go back with all your memories with the chance to like know those things and improve, or you just keep going from where you're at.
So I definitely misinterpreted. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd stay right where I'm
Okay.
at. Yeah, I'd stay right where I'm at.
I thought that would be your answer because
Yeah.
it's like you like where you're at, but
Yeah,
I
no.
think some people would want the chance at a redo.
I just
And so I
think
think it's
about
an
how
interesting.
it would be so nice to go back to age 10 and like be able to just be that little kid again
Absolutely.
for a couple days or a couple weeks, but to start all the way back from age 10, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm good on that. If I could stay where I'm at, I'll stay where I'm at.
Yeah,
But-
I think that's a good take.
Yeah.
But keep in mind that you want to go back to your age 10 thing. Just keep that in the back of your mind. We'll come back to that a little bit later. Now here's another one talking about reliving elementary school. Would you rather go back and relive one day of elementary school or one day of high school? And there are two. We're going to take this two different times.
Okay.
The first one is you get to choose an elementary school day and a high school day. So you're choosing the best of them.
Yeah.
And the other one is you are going back to a random day. So like if I'm choosing an elementary school day, I'm probably choosing like fourth grade field day.
Field day, yeah.
And I say fourth grade because that's when I ran the school.
Yeah.
And then high school, I don't know. I didn't think too much about which high school day I would choose, but you're choosing those.
Yeah.
But I think that's different than a random elementary school versus high school day.
I honestly think I'm choosing high school either way.
Really?
If I could choose the day, I'd choose homecoming of my senior year because that was the day where, so I'll break it down for you. We have a parade at Ray Peck, or we had a parade. I don't know if they still do it, but there was a homecoming parade that went through the parking lot really and then ends on the football field and we do a pep assembly. Well, the girls' tennis team had to talk at this pep assembly and the girl that was supposed to talk was freaking out and she was in my advisory class and she was like, Foster, can you just do the talk for me? And I was like, let's do it. I had never done anything like that before, ever. But I was not a crowd pumper upper, a CPU, a crowd pumper upper.
Not officially.
Yeah, they had these things called CPUs at our high school, and they were like the people that pumped up the crowd. I mean, I was the crowd pumper upper, but not officially, exactly.
Yeah.
But that gave me the opportunity. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the girls' tennis team. I'm going to take the mic, and I'm going to just go crazy. And I had never done anything like that before up to this point. But I did it. I grabbed the mic. I went up there, and I just yapped. I think my voice cracked in front of the whole school, but it was so much fun. And dude, I think that adrenaline has like, like is part of the reason why I even do speaking today, because I
Yeah.
still get that same adrenaline today. It's way more structured and meaningful and stuff, but I don't know. That was a great day. I'd go back to that day and I would just like own it even harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would do.
So you would take that over like the field day of elementary school?
I would, just because the field day, like, it honestly, if I could go back to anything school related, I'd go back to the field day when I was a teacher.
Yeah.
That's what I would go back to. But if it was a random day, I'd still take high school, because I feel like, dude, if I could go back to high school and I knew what I knew now, oh my goodness, I would be so much more outgoing and just make way more friends, and like, I don't know, I just would have been better. I would have done high school a lot better.
I think the reason I would consider the elementary school one is I think the joy that brings is
true.
way more unique and foreign to who I am as an adult versus when you're in high school. 'Cause in high school, you're close to, not that it's more or less, but that you were talking about 10-year-old, like just innocent, that just pure joy is not the same way you feel joy as an adult. And so going back to remember and experience what that was like, I think would be cool.
Yeah.
That being said, I'd probably also choose high school just because there was more like impactful things.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the one I'd choose, but the one that comes to mind is when I did the RPU Matter Night.
Yeah.
And I hosted that, and
Mhm.
I think I would have, like you said, like gone even farther and like stepped into it, and it was still great. I have a picture when I first got introduced where I walk out on stage like this, and I still look at that. I go, who do I think I was? Like, I'm walking out on stage like I'm a celebrity being brought up. Like, oh, what's up, guys? But it is a really cool picture.
It was.
But like, I
picture.
would have leaned into that even more and like just continue to have a great time. But that was the first time where I was like, I'm making an impact beyond myself. Like,
Yeah.
what you kind of can or do feel every day with the brand.
Yeah.
It's that same thing where like I've done it since, but that was really the first time where it's like, okay, all these people are here for a message that like I'm helping, and I didn't do it on my own, obviously, but I'm a big part of spreading this really cool message, and that was really cool.
You remember they were like, will you send in a video? And I was like, let me just talk at it. And they're like, no, send a video. Just send a video. I was like,
I still have, if you ever see me comment on these videos, I think I only have 2 videos uploaded. It was you and Morgan's video that they had you send in
really?
for that event.
I got to go watch it. I've never even, I haven't even seen it since then.
Yeah, they made me, I was like, he could come up and speak. They were like, let's stick to the video board.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know. We'll move on. I have some more I can say. But.
Yeah. So my next, would you rather be able to speak to animals or speak every language?
I don't even know. I'd rather speak to animals because I could talk to Maverick.
I
would say
absolutely would do animals.
Mhm.
My biggest thing is that is so much more unique. There are people that can speak I doubt there's a person that could speak every language, but every language is spoken.
Yeah.
And there would be cool opportunities from it, absolutely.
Yeah.
But no one can speak to animals. And
That's true.
maybe I get put into like a mental hospital because I think I'm crazy for thinking I can talk to animals,
Yeah.
but I can't prove it. But assuming that doesn't happen, I just think that the uniqueness of that would be really cool.
Oh, yeah. I would just want it because I could talk to Maverick.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Dude, I feel like I already have communicated and talked with him. I think about that all the time. I'm like, how has he never said a word to me? I feel like we've had conversations. It's so funny how that works.
Yeah, I think that's a more fun one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely.
I'll do one more.
Okay.
This is gonna get, I don't want to say deep, but a little real for a moment, and then we're
okay.
getting to main content. Would you rather know when you die or how you die?
Dang. I'm sure you've thought about it. What do you got?
I think I would rather know when, because regardless of the date, I don't have to be scared. Like, it doesn't change anything other than like on this date it's gonna be scary. But if I know, if it's like when you die, and if it was old age, sure. But if it was like hit by a bus, then I'm not crossing a road. I'm scared of buses my whole life. Like, that adds so much day-to-day anxiety. Versus if it's when, even if if it's like next week, yeah, obviously that for the next week is scary. But if it says 82, then I got almost 60 years of like, okay, I'm fine. And so it doesn't add stress, but it lets me plan a little more. But if it's like 15 years, okay, I'm going to change and replan my life around it.
Yeah.
But how you die, I feel like just adds anxiety around whatever that thing is.
To really think about it, I think if you knew how you die and it was a heart attack or something, I'd be like, dang it. Like, I wish I would have asked when I wish I would have known when.
Yeah.
Because then you would just always be like paranoid and is it happening right now? Or, you know, like forever. But if it was something like a bus, then yeah, just avoid buses.
Yeah, avoid the street.
Oh my goodness. It's like the bus comes through your house or something. Like you're like, oh, I couldn't have avoided that one.
I think the one benefit to if you knew the how is if it's something like a heart attack or something that has some ways to make it a little more preventable, you can make health choices to at least make it where, okay, I'm not going to have that today. You know,
Yeah,
like
that's
I
fair.
can push it back, even if it doesn't change the fact it's going to be a heart attack, which I don't really know what you can do to like.
Yeah, I mean.
But if it's like lung cancer, it's like, okay, I don't smoke, but it's like, okay, I'm not going to smoke because then it pushes back. I can't get that right now or whatever that may be.
To me, it's also like if you knew when you were going to die, it would just make you cherish the moment so much more right now. Even if it was 68 years from now, you're going to die at 104 years old or something, you would still feel like I'm just going to cherish.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because there is a day when we're going to die. We don't know it, yet we take each day for granted. I saw this quote, not even a quote. It was a little scenario that this person walked through with somebody on a podcast. They were like, if I told you I'd give you $10 million today, how would you feel? And they were like, I feel so excited. I'd feel amazing. It would be life-changing. And he said, all right, what if I gave you that $10 million but said you're going to die tomorrow? They said, I wouldn't take the deal. I wouldn't take the money. And he's like, so you're telling me that you get so excited when I told you I'm going to give you $10 million, but then you're passing up on the deal if you were to die tomorrow, which means you're saying that tomorrow is more valuable than $10 million. So why don't you wake up with that excitement every single day?
Absolutely.
So it's so crazy, and that just made me think of that.
I think there's so much in life that just comes down to perspective. It is
for sure.
It is not a fact of the situation or what you have. It is just the perspective. And so knowing like that, the perspective of $10 million versus waking up tomorrow changes the perspective versus just waking up tomorrow or getting $10 million. Like both of those separately. Same with knowing, even if it's 70 years down the line, having that having the finish line is different than just being like, oh, the finish line is somewhere down there. Like if you ran a race and they were like, I'll just run till you finish, you probably don't run as far. Like someone running a marathon, they know I have to run 26.2 miles and then I'm done. If they said run as far as you can, I bet a lot of people would run 20 or 15.
Yeah.
I wouldn't run. I don't think I could run it regardless. But if I know where I'm going, it is way easier to get there. And so
that's so true.
I think there's a lot of life that comes down to that. And it's also easier said than done. Like it is hard to wake up every day and go, oh man, I didn't sleep very good last night, but I'm going to be chipper and excited because I get to wake up. Like it's not that you have to do that, but just understanding the value that you have in the fact that you just got to wake up.
Yeah. Back when I was in college, I never wanted to go to sleep. I was like, I loved life so much during this time. I mean, I still love life, but it was like the best fall of my life. It was my senior year of college. All my classes were so impactful and like fulfilling. Like I loved my classes and they were easy. So it was like it was just great. And then me and Macy were up there together. It was the best time. I won homecoming king during this time. It was the dreadlock season.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Back
what
in
a
shirt.
time. Yep, exactly. What a time, man. And I remember never wanting to go to sleep. I would get so like disappointed to go to sleep and I would wake up so early and the second my alarm went off, I'd hop out of bed because I was so excited about every day. And I think about that all the time. I'm like, gosh, if I could just get back to that, you know? And I got there about 2 months ago. I was back, like it was right around, it wasn't even 2 months ago. It was about a month ago during June.
Mm-hmm.
I was waking up, you know, it was downtown days. I was like, let's go. And I think we all have those days here and there, but I'm like, can I just get back to having that be every day? Like, how do I get back to that? I don't know.
I feel that. I feel like I've been in, not a rut, like that's a strong word, but I've been in just like a frustrated. This podcast has actually been very helpful because whether it's real, I think we've talked about this before. It's like if someone acts a certain way so much, what's the difference between that and actually being that, being in that mood?
We have talked about that.
And I feel that way about this where like, sometimes I'm leaving work and I'm like, man, I'm just not in a talkative mood. And if I was doing Sunday driving, it's the type of days where it's like, I might not do it because it's just me. But it's one, I'm not going to let you down. Like it's not just me. Like I'm doing a whole thing here. And then I get here and we start and it's like, okay, no, it is picking me up.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've been not in a bad mood and not necessarily like depressed, but I've just been kind of like here the whole time. And like life is ups and downs, and I know I'm going to have some of the downs, but I also like I just want some of the ups. Like it's been a lot of good to decent, but not necessarily peaking to great very often. And when I am, I feel like it's not sustaining.
Yeah, no, I get that too, because recording these on a Monday is tough, I've learned. I'm like, gosh, Monday is the busiest day of the week, really. I don't know if that's the same for you.
You're like setting up for the week.
Yeah, exactly. Got to catch up with all the roofing stuff. By the way, I climbed a roof today that was insane. And I had this crazy thought. This is so off topic, but I just wanted to say it. When I got off the roof, I thought, isn't it so crazy the things we do in life, and we don't get a press conference like a pro athlete does? Like, I'm like, where's the reporter coming up to me saying, how did you just do that? Dude, I'll insert the video that's giving me extra editing work, but I don't care. Guys, this was an incredibly crazy roof. It was overlooking the whole city. I posted a video of it.
I saw it. That was nuts.
It was so crazy. But isn't that wild, like, the things we do in life? Like, I'm sure you've had those moments at work where you're like, no one will ever know how legendary that just was.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we don't get a press conference. You know, no one will ever know. No one will ever know how. My dad talks about that too. He's like, no one will ever know how great of even me, his son. I don't even know what he really did, but he's like a sales rep or something for this company, and he's like specially trained, and only like 50 people ever got this training because the training went away, but it's a high valued training. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no one ever will know or care, but like, this is huge.
Yeah.
I just think that's funny.
I felt that way today because I designed our pools for work. And I was trying to, it's this whole thing where I'm like, oh, I got to get the terrain and the slope and the this and then that. Yeah. And it was like, I don't think a lot of other people can do it. And I did it in a day. Like, yeah. And not even the full day. Like, I did a lot of different stuff today. And like, yeah, I was actually sitting there today. I was like, I'm proud of myself. And then I just like moved on. And I didn't think I was going to get to talk about it, but then I took that opportunity.
There we go. Isn't it crazy?
Yeah. Let's reset the camera and we'll go into the main portion.
Exactly. Let's get it.
All right. Main portion of this episode. I talked about remembering that feeling of you as a kid. I want to stroll down memory lane and just go down a bunch of nostalgic like topics here.
Let's do it. I might have to take the hat off for this.
I'm going to start with, what did you want to be growing up? Like when you were a kid and someone said, what do you want to be when you grow up? Did you have like one answer or a couple answers that were like for a long period of your life you always said?
Yes. I wanted to be in the NBA. I'm not even kidding. And me and Carson, we had Hot Wheels and stuff, and we had this like fake world that we would play, and we had all these made up teams and stuff, and then we had our own personal like characters. We had a ton of characters we made up, but my character, the Foster Huggins person in this fake world, was driving a Lambo, and I was an NBA point guard. And it's funny because like in our fake world, I didn't even make myself like the best player. Like this is
I'm
like
a glue guy.
It was such like imagination, but no, I was like a good point guard, and I would have my like great games, but I was never like the number one, which I don't know why that happened, but anyways, it's just kind of funny. That's a whole crazy thing that we should talk about when Carson gets on here one of these days.
Do you remember when we'd play 2v2 on the mini hoop in your bedroom?
Oh, I remember doing that a lot.
You and me, almost every time I'd come over, would play a 2v2 against imaginary defenders. You were like a sharpshooter point guard. Yep. And I was like Shaq.
Yeah.
But we would always make it a close game. We'd never be like, oh, we went off this game.
Yeah.
You'd make a shot, they'd make a shot. I'd make a dunk, I'd miss. They'd make it to take the lead, but like we'd never blow them out. I remember it was always the Bananas. Yeah, it was always our team
most
name.
Definitely.
Once that was like a thing.
Dude, bedroom basketball at my old house, oh my goodness, it was so legendary. My ceiling in my bedroom was so high, you could shoot a floater and it would not touch the ceiling and go in.
I also, looking back, think that I made myself the big man because I didn't have a mini hoop, I couldn't shoot on it very well, so it's my only way. Like if I was going to be like, I'm a shooter. No, I'm not. Like I was just going to miss it all the time. So if I wanted to make myself a good player, it had to be a dunk.
That's so funny. But yeah, no, I was always like NBA player. And then in 8th grade, I got cut from the team. And they literally said, if you grow a little bit going into high school, you'll be a great player. And I was like, I'm done. I just quit. I went back to the Bananas. Yeah. And I'm glad I did. Shout out the Bananas. We got the yellow for the. Is that why you did yellow?
A little bit of nostalgia.
Oh my
there.
goodness!
A little bit of nostalgia
Let's go. So the Bananas were our rec league basketball team. We actually Underwater FlyZone was a sponsor of the Bananas that is continuing on. Are you doing it again next year?
Yep. Yeah. Gonna do
Bananas
the 4th year.
Yep.
In a
no,
row.
it might be 5th.
4th, because
Is it
you
4th?
did it twice.
I did twice. Yeah. You're right.
So
you're right.
so whenever 2023 into 2024, we brought it back. My dad was the head coach. Me and Foster was the assistant coach.
Yep.
Then we did another year where it was us three getting that first. I think I don't know.
That was the first time I sponsored it.
Okay. Yeah. So
I was too broke
the first year, I missed the first like month and a half, 2 months because I was still graduating.
Yep.
So I came back in. Are you sure? I think that was the second team.
That's the second team right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's yes. So that was the first year. I missed like half the season. Came back second half. We were the assistant coach. Then we had the full season. We were all there again. And then this last year, Foster, he's too big time for us. Just wasn't going to be able to make pretty much any of the games because of pop-ups and stuff, which is totally fine. Was going to sponsor, but then they got a league-wide sponsor. And they didn't tell us. On the form, they were like, hey, let us know if you have a sponsor. And then like 3 months later, we're like, hey, the season starts next week. Does Foster need to know anything? They're like, oh yeah, sorry about that. We're not sponsoring. But me and my dad still wore these shirts. I see the one over there.
Yep, I got you.
We still wear these. So Foster's still there. We actually I made the profile picture,
Boom.
one of like these. Maybe it was just a normal one from a phone. But I made the profile picture of that, and I had 2 parents ask me, like, oh, is Foster going to be here? Like, we saw him in the picture. It's like, no, unfortunately. Like,
A couple of my students were on the team.
Yeah, hopefully he'd be at the games. Like, Foster, 2 years after being a teacher, was still making an impact on these kids, which is a year and a half at that point.
Dude,
which is
I
cool.
love my kids. My kids know. Y'all, if you're one of my kids watching this, y'all know.
We also made the swap, and I'm now the head coach. My dad was the assistant. But we'll bring it back. We've got a few kids, I'm hoping, that were all 5th graders. At least 2 of the parents said that their kids would want to play for us again.
Were either of them my kids?
One of them I know for sure was. I think the other one. Honestly, they all 3 might have been. We'll talk about it after. I don't need to put children's names.
We won't throw their names out.
I know for sure one of them was one of the parents who asked me and knew you. But
there we go.
Very fun time. This is going down the wrong. I wanted to go nostalgia, but Bananas were a big part of our childhood.
And they were legendary. So the first year of the Bananas, and y'all may not care, but you got to hear this story, guys. I was the mascot because my brother was on the team. Spencer's in the middle of me and Carson. So one year it'd be me and Spencer. The next it'd be Spencer and Carson. And so the year when it was Spencer and Carson, I would wear a banana suit to the games and run across the court at halftime and shoot a half-court shot. And then we were also really good. I would say they were really good. And they were undefeated, and they were hated because we're at a rec basketball league, and we have a mascot, and we're honestly just smoking teams.
Some of the parents brought in signs.
Yes, we'd bring signs in. Harry for president, your dad.
Yeah, Harry for president. Hudson, who is still one of our good friends, he's like 6'4" now. I think he was 6 foot in 5th grade when this team started. Like he literally the next tallest person in the league came up to his shoulder. And like just our entire team, we had 8 of us, maybe 9. 2 of them had never really played before. And then the rest of us were like dogs. Undefeated nuts. We went to double overtime in one game, which at that age, double overtime was sudden death. Still the highlight of the season of mine was I made a chase down LeBron block on someone in double overtime to save it that we ended up winning. That team wasn't even the second place team that year. But we went undefeated next year. Lost one game by 1 point when we didn't have Scott Clark, who was our best scorer of that year. And we won the championship. But then the third year that I think was only 6th graders.
Yeah. No, I think you guys did good the 6th grade year. The year I played, we weren't very good.
That year, not great. Hudson went to competitive. Like, we lost some of the guys. Yeah. And then
I was back. 5 foot point guard was back.
Yeah. And then maybe the second year was the year that was only one grade. Because there was one of those years. I think it was the second season. And then the 4th year, I wasn't on the team because I made the 8th grade team. So I was the mascot / assistant coach. I kept stats. I went 5 for 8 on half-court shots at the halftime. Or maybe I did it pregame. I did it at pregame or halftime. But I went 5 for 8. I still remember that. And that team was the second best team in the league, but lost in the first round of the playoffs. My dad still beats himself up about it.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I was there.
I was also there. I was on the bench. My dad's still, I can't break up a 1-3-1 zone.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, they even said Trip the Banana when I was the mascot.
I do not remember
My
that.
mom always talks about it because like
That's
I would
so
run
funny.
across the court and they hated us. And they literally,
I would've
some
too.
parent, Trip the Banana. I
We
was like
ran-
a 6th grade child.
We ran through a banner on the first game of the
I mean-
playoffs. I think it was Gunnar Griffin, who
Yeah.
was one of our best players.
Yeah.
His sister and someone else. I remember the picture was holding up a banner that we ran through.
This is rec basketball,
This was-
non-competitive.
This was 4th and 5th grade recreational basketball.
Mascot, signs for the coach, Harry for
Insane.
president.
Undefeated.
It's pretty much legendary. But anyways, that's the nostalgia. I
Yeah.
honestly, my parents till this day, they'll say that I intentionally got cut so I could play for the Bananas. And I'm like, that's not true, but we'll go with it.
Yeah. Like, Coach, I'm pretty short, aren't I?
Yeah, bro. But okay, going back to the nostalgia. So when I got cut, that's when I honestly knew, like, all right, I ain't going to the NBA. One of my guys that would, like, I say train, but he was really one of my neighbors who would come play basketball with me. He was like a D2. He went to SBU. His name's Ryan Doherty. He is in the record books, holds every record for SBU's basketball team. And he would play with me and stuff. And I remember when I got cut, he was like, "Don't worry about it, bro. Jordan got cut too." Like all the things. And I was like, nah. I was like, I'm out. And dude, all my friends made the team.
Mm-hmm.
So then I got a new group of friends, and then they all got expelled from school for having weed in their backpack in 8th grade. So I was just like loner. And then it was that summer whenever I started the wiffle ball league. So 8th grade going into freshman year. And so I started the Raintree Wiffle Ball League, which y'all, I hope, know what that is. If you don't know what that is, just go over to the YouTube channel. I put tens of thousands of hours of my life into this YouTube channel, the Raintree Wiffle Ball League. Go look it up. And yeah, so we started the league, and I was just fell in love with the league. And for the longest time, my dream was to just do whatever job I needed to do to make money and keep the Wiffle Ball League going.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, I became a PE teacher. And then during my year of teaching, this got big. And
Yeah.
so here we are.
It's interesting how life works. I remember
Yeah.
you said you always wanted to open a wiffle ball shop, like a
Yeah.
store for wiffle ball stuff. And I was
Now-
like, what's that mean? You're like, I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, and now knowing about business, yeah, that would never work.
Yeah. But
Yeah, no shot. But I don't know. It's still a dream of mine to do something with wiffle
make
ball.
the
Like
NBA?
wiffle ball. No, that's not it. I'm so bad at basketball. As you saw on Saturday at Drew's house, in the pool.
the rim was sideways.
I did smoke Carson after a while, but I just need to get warmed up. But anyways, yeah. So the wiffle ball still is kind of in my dream to do something with it. Like
Yeah.
I want to start Your Life is Worth Living charity wiffle ball tournament. We could totally do that.
Totally.
I
You'd
mean,
have a
totally do
huge,
that.
a lot of interest in that.
I just got to see how that works being a LLC. And we're not a nonprofit, so how do we do a charity? Like I'd have to
Yeah.
find a charity to do it with.
like that sponsors it and your
Yeah,
name's with it.
I could just have a booth and then have
Right.
like an actual nonprofit. We have a lot of nonprofits we're working with now. Prodeo, Lee Summit Cares, Rediscover. Shout out you guys.
Yeah.
And then more St. Francis
do
Foundation,
you work
the
with
Kim Foundation.
Do you work with You Matter at all?
Well,
I know you
what do you mean
have
by You Matter? I mean, because there's Raypec You Matter, there's Belton You Matter, and there's Archie
any
You
of
Matter.
the You Matters.
We're working on Belton, but Archie and Raypec, I've already spoken for them and stuff.
Yeah,
But
I thought so.
the Raymore Peculiar Foundation is we just threw them some dollar bills.
I think you'd have no problem getting someone to do that. I think
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
We definitely could. Honestly, this just sparks so many ideas. I should hit up Raypec You Matter and do a Raypec You Matter wiffle ball tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be a flop, but it might be awesome too. I
Yeah.
don't know. Anyways, lot of dreams. My brain is always thinking. I was thinking today. I was like, I already did my roof inspections. I was back by 9 a.m. and I went into that closet because that's where my calendar is. And I just sat there and just let myself just like think. And every idea that came to my head, I would just type it down, put it on the calendar, call somebody. And dude, we booked like 5 events today. Just
That's
me
sick.
sitting in there.
That's dope.
I'm like, that's my work day. It feels so weird. It feels
Yeah.
like I'm not doing anything. But then I look back, I'm like, dude, I just booked.
Those 5
Cool
events
stuff.
are gonna make you X amount.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like build the brand. Yeah, that's
It's crazy.
that's
dude.
fun.
But anyways, that's what I wanted to be. What did you
NBA
want to
player.
be when you grew up?
I had a rehearsed answer.
Oh,
What do you want to
really?
be growing up? athlete, actor, comedian.
Yeah.
One of those three.
Yeah.
Athlete, I was like, I'm gonna leave it open because I got options apparently. Because I was like, I don't want to narrow myself down to one sport. So through my life, it changed. Like when I was in second grade, it was the NFL because I was the 1 of 2 linebackers on the first year of tackle football in second grade. We went undefeated.
You played tackle football?
Yeah, and
How did I not know this?
And I was because it was second grade.
Yeah,
the other
that's funny.
linebacker was Jackson Hilsebeck, who ended up being an all-state linebacker.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would have been an all-state linebacker, but I'm saying I was there next to someone who
Yeah.
became one.
Yeah.
So at one point it was that, but then that ended pretty quickly because my mom told me I either had to play soccer. I couldn't do soccer and football starting the next fall. So she's like, you either do soccer in the spring and fall or soccer in the spring, football in the fall. And I was like, oh, and I was having a hard time. She's like, by the way, football's going to 3 practices a week. And she knew what she was doing because my mom didn't like me playing football, not
Yeah.
tackle. She didn't like me playing goalie in soccer. She
Yeah.
knew that 3 practices a week would make me choose soccer.
Mm-hmm.
So went away. Then soccer was kind of my sport for a little bit. Baseball never had the professional. I stopped at coach pitch. Like that was
Yeah.
pretty young, but I tried it. Soccer then was it for a while because it was really the main soccer and basketball. But I was like, I'm not gonna be tall enough. Like I had a little bit of realism.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was never making the NBA. But soccer, I was like, I could. Even before my growth spurts, like you don't have to be tall. And then I hit 6 foot. I was pretty quick.
Yeah.
And looking back, like I didn't have the make of. I never had a good touch. Like I
Yeah.
was tall, loud, fast. Like I was good for what I was doing, but I was never close to making pro in any. But it was soccer for a while, and then a little bit of tennis when I first started in high school. It's like, man, if I like really buckle down, and like again, none of it was ever a path. But yeah, athlete was a lot of it. But then I did theater and I did dance. I never wanted to be a professional dancer, but I actor for a little bit where I'm like, oh, I can be a triple threat.
Yeah.
Could never sing, so was never gonna have the third part of that. But an actor that like went back and forth between like musical theater versus like TV acting, and I think
Yeah.
that one is probably the most realistic for me to have gone down because comedian is such like a weird niche, and I don't think that my humor lends itself to like stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
It's like situational humor.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I could be in, they're not really that popular anymore, but like there used to be like YouTube groups. If I was in one of those, it's like, yeah, in a situation, like in a podcast setting.
Yeah.
Although even this, like I don't like try to be funny very often.
Yeah.
But I think actor was one that like, if I really wanted to, I could have buckled down and done.
Yeah.
But it was always those 3. But looking back, I should have wanted to be a coach.
Well, you are.
I think, yeah, like I should have realized that in every, and now looking back, I feel like I've understood every sport better than I've played it.
Yeah.
Like I've watched and consumed and like broken down the sport, even in ones that like basketball. I'm not some like coaching savant, but I currently know more about basketball than I was ever gonna be able to do physically.
That makes sense.
Like I'm not unathletic like some people have said in my life. but I don't have an innate athleticism, which is kind of part of being a professional athlete.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm less athletic than I used to think I was.
I was actually thinking about this on the way over here because with this question, I was thinking about some of my answers. I think that you have a really innate athleticism, but not an innate coordination. Not that you are uncoordinated, but I think athleticism has always come very naturally.
He's only saying this because of the volleyball game on Saturday. I'm kidding. I suck at volleyball, and he found out real quick.
I've known it. Volleyball is a representation of what I'm saying, though. Like,
Yeah.
you can jump high, you can move quick, but you are not innately like, okay, how am I going to hit the ball so it gets topspin over? Like, that
Yeah.
doesn't come. Not that you couldn't do it,
Yeah.
but other people that I've played with, honestly, I might like I can't jump that high, but I can figure out how to like hit topspin with it. Volleyball is not the greatest example because I still mess up with some of the basic things.
My
but
type of sports are like baseball. I was always good at football. I was always.
I think you would have been decent at soccer
You know what? I was thinking
because
that
you're
too.
quick. You're quick.
When I watch these World Cup games, I'm like, they look like me. Like I don't know. They just kind of look like that. Like the things they do, I'm like I feel like I could do, but
Yeah.
like not at their level. They're the World Cup players. But
I don't think we talked about this last week. This is really going away from the nostalgia route. I'm okay with it.
that's okay.
I think baseball might be the only sport that doesn't have a physique where like you look at someone, you're built like a soccer player, built like a
That's so true because you got Billy Butler over here, and
yeah,
you never
like,
would have thought. And then you got
and every sport has the odd ones. Like Erling
Yeah.
Haaland, he's the big,
Yeah.
he's a big one. He doesn't look like a typical soccer player, and there are small, skinny basketball players, whatever. But you look at someone who's tall, you go, you look like basketball.
Yep.
You look at someone that honestly is kind of built like you go, oh, you look like soccer.
yeah.
You look at someone who's just football, but baseball, there's not a build where you look like a
No,
baseball
but if
guy.
they got the hat on that's barely on, you're like baseball.
yeah.
It's more of a dress. It's not as much like a
That's
body
true.
type. But yeah, that's
Anyway,
a good question.
I want to get back to the nostalgia. We talked about what I'm
Hey,
going
before
up.
you do, free shipping code of the week.
Okay.
YLIWL 36. 36, not 26, 36.
Okay.
If someone places an order, I know you're a real one. We're going to keep it 36 for 2 weeks too. So YLIWL 36. Boom. Go cop some merch. Drops out now. I told you guys earlier. Anyways, back to this.
So we're talking about nostalgia.
Yeah.
I want to go back to school because I feel like that is everyone had such a different experience in school, yet there are so many shared memories of like certain things of school.
Yeah.
Do you have any weirdly specific memories in regards to school? Like whether it's like a thing that happened or a recurring smell or sound or something that you remember that you associate either with us, like my middle school or elementary school, or just going to school in general.
I feel like I remember never like fitting in with people my age. I was always more friends with like Carson, Kyle, like your grade, my brother's grade. I had some really good friends my age, but never like, dude, no one that I would go really hang out with. Hayden Rains, shout out to you. Don't want to forget the people I did hang out with.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My senior year, it was more people my age, but I always felt like, with the wiffle ball league and stuff, I never felt like people viewed me as the same maturity level as them or something. But I think it's because I don't drink and smoke and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it came down to was, they're like, we love Foster. He's cool, but we can't have him over because he's not going to drink. He's not going to smoke with us. Like they knew that, so I don't know. I just remember being in school and like always being friends with everybody, but then I just hear about their stories from the weekend and I didn't even think anything of it, but I would just be like,
Until like down the line, you were
down the line, I was like, wait
a
a second, why was I never at none of that? But then I remember, oh yeah, that story was about them doing something that I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that. But I don't know. It was, that's something that just, I don't know why that came to my mind, but that was just the first thing that I
feel
thought
like
of.
when someone tells me like think of weirdly specific stuff, I go to elementary school because that is, I was talking earlier, the joy of a kid is unique. I think just everything about being a kid is unique. Like, because you obviously can't tell in the moment how little you know.
Yeah, that's
if that
true.
makes sense. Like, not even in an insulting way. Because I think older people probably look at us like, oh, they don't know anything. And I don't like that. It's like I'm a human being that's like learning.
I'm the opposite. I look at them and I'm like, they don't know anything.
Just because I have less years, I've had less opportunity to learn things, but it doesn't mean I know less.
Yeah.
Same with a kid. Like, I think I'm also good with kids because I can get that. I can kind of think like them in a way. Like, I don't know. But it is a unique mindset because you only know like your little bubble, your little circle, and everything is so big. Everything you learn is huge. And that moment is it just is what it is.
Yeah.
You don't reflect. In high school, I started getting anxiety. So I think about everything.
Yeah.
But you can take a moment to self-reflect and think about things and change. But when you're a kid, like you are what you are. It is what it is. My personality is what it was. It wasn't the personality because I was trying to make it that. I was a popular kid, but I think it's just because I was fast and I talked a lot.
Dude, yeah.
Being fast, I'm sure you ran into this. You were quick. I was the fastest kid in my grade, and that went a long way with the guys and the girls.
Yeah. No, I was also. I was the fastest in my grade for a while, I felt like. I've always, being fast has been one of the things that I feel like I bring to the table when it comes to athletics stuff.
I had like a gap where when I was a kid, I was fast. Then like 4th through like 6th into 7th grade, I wasn't slow, but I was just like fast, but not the fast kid.
Yeah.
And then I hit a growth spurt. I went from 5'4" to 6 foot in like 2 years. And I was
remember that.
like 130 pounds, like skinny.
Yeah.
So I still knew how to like run fast, but I also then had longer strides. So then I got really fast again. And then I put on a little weight by like 17, 18.
Dude,
And now I'm probably not very fast at all. I haven't tried to run.
I still kind of have it, but some days I don't. Like some days because we play softball on Sundays, and I'm the pinch runner most of the time. We have a couple of guys that'll do it, but if we need a pinch runner, they're like Foster.
Yeah.
And some days I feel like I'm in quicksand. Like I'm like, what the heck is happening? Like it's funny. Like I'm 26. I'm not old, but I mean,
I did. There was one
older.
time in college, me and our fraternity, we were just hanging out at the house.
Yeah.
And we were like, hey, let's go race. So we started running 40-yard dashes. And I remember I was trying to tell people, I was like, I used to be kind of quick, and none of them really believed me.
yeah.
And the first one I did, like I ran fine, but something about it like clicked. And my body was like, oh, I remember what we need to do. Like I remembered the form of like, when you start a race, it's like you lean forward, you basically fall into it. And then my body remembered like how to do the strides, and then I ended up being the second fastest there. And I was really proud of myself. And it unlocked something.
Yeah.
Because when you're fast, like it just like happened. Yeah. But I remember going back to like memories, we would play like tag in the yard or freeze tag or whatever it is out in like the playground like grass, and the only person that I couldn't consistently catch was Tyler Swift. Not because I was faster, but I remember him being really shifty.
Watch him be a listener. He's like,
That'd
they
be dope.
finally said my name.
I ran into him like 2 years ago. I was playing pickleball with some of my dad's friends at the park, and he came like running by. I feel bad because he was like, oh, I play, like let me know if you guys play again. It's like we normally play every Sunday.
Yeah.
I texted him. I was like, hey, they're not playing this next Sunday. And then I stopped going. So I never texted.
yeah.
So we never got to. So if he is listening, one, I remember how fast you are. Two, I promise it wasn't intentional. And I would still like to play pickleball with you if it comes up.
That's so
I doubt
funny.
he's listening. But I remember him being like quick in the yard.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Another memory I have from school was in 8th grade track. I lined up next to Chris McKenzie, all the fastest guys. And they said, go. It was a 100-yard dash. And I was going, and I was like, I smoked all of them. It was the warm-up. I didn't know it was the warm-up. It was like you're supposed to like jog it out.
Yeah.
And so we get back in line, and I'm like, oh gosh, go. I am just smoked by everyone. But I remember in that moment thinking, like going through my head, it was like the longest 100-yard dash ever, because I'm like, I'm going to be the fastest guy on the team. I could go to college. I thought he was going to Missouri. I'm like, he's going to go big, and I'm beating him. And then they were like, all right, let's do it for real this time. And I'm like, oh, goodness. I just looked like an idiot.
Yeah.
Second of all, looked even dumber after I get smoked by everybody.
Do you remember we were on a 4x1 team together, your 8th grade year of track?
Do you remember what happened?
I remember that 3 of the 4 of us were really good, and then we had to get a thrower as our third runner. And so we lost a lot of races there. I don't want to say his name because he's a really cool dude.
You'll have to tell me after, because I genuinely don't remember.
I remember. I think
I do remember.
I think it was Hayden was our first.
Yep.
You were our second.
Yep.
He was our third.
Yep.
And then I was our fourth because I liked being the anchor. And I
Do you
was
remember
quick.
we like won a race, but then we got disqualified because Hayden was coming around. I said go or something, and I went way too early, and he tossed me the baton. I freaking snagged it. And we freaking won.
I do remember.
And we got DQ'd.
I was in a 4x2 my 8th grade year.
Yeah.
And I think I was our lead runner there. But it was Robbie Keys, I'm pretty sure was our fourth. And we were doing good. And it was on the straightaway the last 100. And I was like kind of jumping next to him, cheering him on. And I didn't really run with him, but I kind of went with him for part of it. And the starter came up to tell me, he was like, technically, you're not supposed to go with them. Like, you can't move with them for like pacing purposes.
Yeah.
And he was like, but I can tell you we're not doing that. It was not intentional. He's like, do not do that again, because it is rare someone is going to give you this grace. And I think I don't know if we won, but I think we did good in that race. And I remember feeling very appreciative of that. Another weird, I have most of my life is weirdly specific memories. Like, I remember one time at a class, I was picking apart an eraser into little pieces, and you know the little pink ones? I picked apart the entire thing into little crumbs and put it in like a tube, and then the teacher saw it, and I got in a lot of trouble.
Oh my god!
And like, it's just stuff like
That's
that.
Funny.
Or one time I told my first grade teacher what I learned now is basically bubble guts. But I was like, I feel like I'm getting stabbed from the inside. And she was like, that's what happens when you talk too much. Maybe you should just
No
not talk.
way.
So I think I was just
That's
talking too much and
wild.
she was tired of it. And let me tell you, I shut up.
That is,
And for years, I thought that's what it was.
that is a great move.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I
Very
ever
smart.
find myself back in teaching, I'm stealing that.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I think let's reset the camera one last time
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
and start to, All right.
This chair hurts.
The last little piece for like nostalgia before we close it out. I want to talk about if you have any memorable teachers that you had as a student. I'm sure you probably have some as mentors as you were like becoming a teacher,
Yeah.
but like teachers through your time.
So
If
you're
you-
thinking
if you
like
can
K
have
through
one-
12, or are we doing college as well?
Let's do one for each school we went to.
Okay.
I don't think we should go into detail,
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
have elementary school, intermediate, middle, high,
Well,
college.
we'll go
Do one for
elementary.
each.
Shout out Mrs. Milligan for sure.
I think my elementary would be Miss Elmore, kindergarten teacher, but she was also my neighbor.
Yeah.
So that was huge.
Mrs. Milligan, it was cool. I actually worked with her. And I just was at her house dropping merch off.
She's a customer of ours because they have a pool. And
Oh, really?
and they live, so we still stay in they're great family.
Hey,
It's great
they're a
family. I just
customer
never-
of ours too. They got a ton of merch.
I never had her as a teacher though.
Really?
No. Honestly, I liked all of my teachers.
Yeah.
The only one I didn't like in the moment, and I'm going to say her name because looking back, she was a great teacher.
Yeah.
Miss Carr, because she was the first one
I
that
taught
like,
with her too.
she was the first one that like didn't let me get away with stuff. And so it was hard to kind of hear no because I was a good student,
Yeah.
but I would talk a lot, I would distract other people. And she was the first one that really like put a stop to that.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that. Like she was a great teacher, but in the moment I'm like, why you tell me to stop talking?
Yeah. You know what? I taught with a different Miss Carr,
Mm-hmm.
but still, shout out Miss Carr.
Intermediate school.
Intermediate.
Mine, this is the teacher for the longest time.
So intermediate school, by the way, it's 5th and 6th grade. That's not a thing anymore.
not very common almost
Yeah.
anywhere. I really liked it though, because I think 5th graders and kindergartners are so far apart, but so are 6th and 8th graders.
Yeah.
And so I liked that there was the 5th and 6th. Her name was, I believe it was Miss Clark. She was my math and science teacher. Me and Andrew Patterson, that was that's when we became friends in 5th grade. But we talked about her for forever. She was awesome. She was great.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Mr. Northcraft.
I had him too. He was
Got
sick.
my real first girlfriend in his class. I'm not going to say her name, but
It
it was a great song. You remember
Yeah,
that?
I do remember that. He was great.
I was
Mr.
like,
Northcraft is
Spencer, how
awesome.
do I change my screensaver?
He wanted his lock screen and changed to her soccer number.
And we started dating on the last day of 6th grade, and I broke up with her on the last day of 7th grade because her mom grounded her over summer, and I didn't get to talk to her at all.
Yeah, Mr. Northcraft is great. Middle school.
Middle school, oh man. Oh my goodness, it was a PE teacher. I can't think of his name, but shout out to him.
Jane? Was it Jane's?
No, it was not.
'Cause there
I
was-
love James though. He's a cool dude.
Was it Coach Rass?
No, R.I.P. though.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
reminded me.
R.I.P. Coach Rass.
I feel bad because I can't remember his name, but my 7th grade history teacher, I remember thinking he was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can picture his face because I also went back on April Fool's Day. He had a student teacher who had also had, and I went up and I had this big old brace on, and I told them that I slipped in the shower, and I led them on. I told them that in the morning, and I didn't tell them till the end of the day. And I just like weirdly remember that he was a teacher I wanted to go back and say that to.
That's funny. Dude, well, the PE teacher I liked, he taught my dad and me.
Oh, that's
It was
cool.
crazy. Like, it was, my dad remembered having him.
Yeah.
And I can't remember his name, but he even, like, kind of inspired me to, like, I wanted to be like him as a PE teacher.
Yeah.
Which, granted, that didn't happen because I didn't do middle school.
Right.
But when I went into teaching PE, I thought I want to do middle school because I wanted to be like him. And then I went to elementary and was nothing like him at all. But
yeah. I also feel
anyways.
bad because I have a lot of teachers that made a huge impact, and like there's a non-zero chance that they can listen to this because
Yeah.
of the way you impact the community.
Yeah.
I have almost no teachers that I disliked, and pretty much all the ones I can think of were in college. And like
Yeah.
that's just kind of what college can be.
Yeah. No,
Um,
definitely. High school, though?
Mine, easiest answer, best teacher I've ever had, Mr. Brown. Me and him,
Yeah, he's great.
not just because he was a good teacher, like he was, but I had him for IB psychology, and that was it. When there was a class of 21 people, 3 of us were guys, and the other 2 were like just smart people. Me and Mr. Brown would like say dad jokes, and only us would laugh. And so we had a very similar sense of humor. And then I took tutoring, And then I took whatever the like advanced tutoring class was, and like helped teach the tutors that he was teaching.
Yeah.
And he's the only teacher when I went to college. I was like, hey, can we go get lunch just to catch up? And like, I can thank you. We've messaged a couple of times over the last 6 years. And during COVID, we went and picked up our cap and gowns in like a drive-through line.
Yeah.
And all the teachers wrote us notes. And I still remember his to this day. He said, great teachers don't have favorites. Apparently, I'm not a great teacher. The world's getting a good one.
awesome.
And I like still remember it. And
That's
like,
awesome.
that was so cool.
That is really cool.
And so he is by far the one that's made
He's
the
a
most
great
impact.
guy. My one detention I ever had was with him.
And I know that, like, I'm sure other people haven't, like, no one is a perfect teacher to every student. Like, I'm sure other people are going to hear this, but I hate him, Mr. Brown.
Oh, no.
I don't know how you can have
He
that.
didn't give me the detention. He just was
Oh,
the
the
guy.
one- oh.
Yeah, no, that was the only experience I ever had with him. And yeah, he was the coolest guy ever.
Yeah.
The guy who gave me the detention, I won't name.
I bet honestly, because he coached the swim teams, I feel like as a coach, there are probably more people that had beef with him than as a teacher. You know,
I doubt
like
people
feel like
really
that
I
opens
felt
up-
like he was loved. I mean, I loved him. I had
Yeah.
1 hour, 90-minute interaction with the man. And he let us go early too, I think.
That's
so.
dope. Yeah, no, he was
awesome.
a really cool dude. What
Yeah.
about you for high school?
Yeah, he didn't give me detention. That's funny. I said that wrong. Or maybe
I
yeah.
probably just misheard.
Anyways, from high school, there's so many, but I just got to say Miss Easton, the ceramics and
I
art
never had
teacher.
her.
Dude, not many people know this. I took an art class like every semester. I took almost all the art classes, and I loved it. And
Yeah.
like, it's kind of cool because all these years later, this is kind of in the art realm, like clothing and
Absolutely.
whatnot. So I guess it kind of worked out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's maybe
Did
one
something.
of my secrets there, but
I think high school probably has the most teachers that what I was talking about of like if they listen to this
yeah.
that truly did make an impact. Like I'm friends with a lot of them on Facebook kind of thing.
Yeah.
That like were awesome teachers.
I
And-
thought it was so awesome when I went back and spoke at Ray Peck this past year.
Yeah.
All these teachers coming up to Miss Easton was one of them, but a bunch of teachers coming up to me and they're like, never would have thought you would have ended up doing this, but gosh, they're like,
Yeah.
you're so good at it. I can't believe I had you in class. I'm
I
like,
hope if for some reason you are a teacher that taught for either of us, but specifically I'm asking for me, and like that means something, like you remember me or whatever, please message me. Like I
Yeah.
love catching up with people.
most definitely.
Do you remember Miss Driscoll, our elementary school principal?
Yeah.
She
Dr. Driscoll.
Yeah, Dr. Lovey Driscoll. She
Yep.
is a customer at Icon Pools and comes in. We built a pool for her daughter. That's her neighbor. Every time she comes in, I give her a hug and catch up. Like, made an impact on me. And like, I
Dude.
love catching up with her. And she was my elementary school
When
principal.
I went into my Timber Creek interview, I didn't know. I thought it might be her. I didn't really know. But when we sat down, I was like, oh, I thought it'd be Lovey. And she was like, what, I'm not good enough? I was like, oh, that's a rough start to the interview. I'm like,
I didn't
gosh,
recognize her the
dang it.
first time she came in a couple years ago because she's lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
And like look and had dyed her hair red. Like, and we both did like a double take. She didn't see me since she probably
Yeah.
saw me when I was 18 at
Yeah.
like school registration. But
Oh, that's so funny.
and
But
then college.
College, I have so many. Dr. Butler, both the Leases, Dr. Damon and Dr. Jody Lease, Gina McNeese. Oh my goodness, there's so many. Dude, the PE department at Northwest changed my life. I tell them every time I go back because I always see them. Dude, I always tell them, you guys are too good at your job. Like you made me like
Yeah.
advance. Like my beliefs grew so much. I owe so much to them as mentors and as people that just believed in me. And I mean, out of all the teachers in my whole life, I got to say, like, for me, it was college.
Yeah.
That the teachers I had were more than teachers. Like the Leases, I look at them as my third set of grandparents. Like it's a husband and wife. They were pen pals for like 4 months. Their first time meeting in person was their wedding. Could you believe that?
That is crazy.
And then they're still happily married 40-something years later.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a kind of a wild story. I need to get them on the podcast.
Yeah.
I had Damon on the podcast, but anyways, the professors at Northwest, I tell them, I'm like, you guys are too good. You made me find something inside of me that I didn't even know existed. I owe so much to them. So all the PE department at Northwest really changed my life, honestly.
For college, honestly, I think high school was more impactful for me as a person in
Yeah.
terms of like teachers who impacted me.
Yeah.
I think a lot of my college professors, I had more transactional relationships. I didn't have a lot that I disliked,
Yeah.
but I had more that I just like had and moved on.
Yeah.
But I had 2 teachers that really made an impact.
I keep doing that today too.
One was my first semester public speaking teacher, Dr. Jack Brand. John
Nice.
Brand. He was either named, his name was either John and he wanted to be called Jack or vice versa. I can never remember. But one reason is I love a guy that compliments me.
Yeah.
I did a speech on how to prepare for an interview, just for a job. And then I took his class, speaking in business and professional settings. He told me based off my speech, at least half of that semester was going to be review. And he was like, you clearly know at least half of this content, if not more, just off of that 7-minute speech. I was
That's
like,
awesome.
hey, thanks, Doc. But also he really changed my perspective when we talked about argumentative speeches
Yeah.
or persuasive speeches, how to persuade someone. He's like, if you think 0, they think 100, your goal cannot be to get them to 0 because that's just going to lead to an argument.
Yeah.
Your goal is just to make them not care enough to argue for point 100, and that's a win.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I thought it was cool.
That's nice.
I had a Spanish teacher. Let me see the last time we messaged on Instagram periodically. Let me see I keep in contact with him because he was a year older than us when we were in that grade. Oh
Yeah.
man, it's been a little while. Oh, this is a little sad.
Instagram. All my teachers are just Facebook.
There he is, Jorge. He's only a year and a half older, and it was a very small class. So you really get to know each other, and he loved basketball. So we would practice Spanish on break times or before after class talking about basketball, but would have to talk about it in Spanish. And that was really cool. And we kept up and talked after about hey, how are you doing? He moved to Arizona to get his master's degree and all this stuff. And that was another one where he was so personable and he found a way. It was the reason I wish I had kept up with Spanish, was because of the way he made me love it and find a way to connect. And he's like, let's talk about, he figured out how much I like basketball. He did too.
Yeah.
And so we connected that way. And then that's the way we talked about it. And it was very fun.
Nice. Yeah. Shout out to all the teachers. I don't
Absolutely.
know. That was cool.
Teaching, obviously you would agree with this. Teaching is always going to be such an underrated profession. Teaching and nursing are two that, one, I have a personal tie to. My mom was a teacher. You were a teacher.
Yeah.
I went through school and thought about being a teacher. And obviously nursing, because McKenna is a nurse.
Yeah.
But those are such underappreciated jobs. There is no amount of money that is enough for how much of an impact that you can have and the good ones do. There is an opportunity to I don't want to say ruin a kid, but not make an impact.
Yeah.
But these teachers, I just talked about my kindergarten teacher, Miss Elmore. I talked about my 3rd grade teacher.
Exactly.
That to this day, I still just said she made an impact on me. And I am 24 years old. The fact that you have a profession that can do something like that. And then nurses, obviously doctors also save lives, but McKenna, when she was in the ER, was wave 1, saving these people. Now she's in labor and delivery.
Yeah.
You are the first thing these humans are doing is being in her hands.
That is crazy.
that is such a unique opportunity to make an impact. And there is no amount of praise and no amount of money that is enough for both of those careers.
That is true, dude. I hope one of these weeks I want to get in my teaching bag and just talk about some teaching memories, because gosh, it was truly, I'll be honest, ever since I left teaching, I haven't hit the highs that I hit when I was teaching, even on some of the most awesome things. I almost said the awesomeness thing. The most awesome things that we've done, big events, downtown days, all the fun stuff and great stuff that's happened. The highs I felt when I was teaching, I haven't hit them since, dude. There's nothing like it. And the lows are low, but they're worth it every time. That's the big difference between teaching and anything else. I mean, I love that this brand is becoming more of my full-time job, because when I had my other career with the roofing, when that was really my full-time thing, gosh, I would just remember having a bad day and thinking, there's no point.
Yeah.
When I had a bad day teaching, I'm like, okay, there's a point. This matters. It still matters. Today was rough, but I know kids were impacted today. I know that dealing with that situation the way I did helped a kid sitting in the back of the class learn how to resolve conflict or just something.
Yeah.
You never know the impact you're making. So, gosh, I don't know. It was the best year. It was the best year of my life. If you would have asked me during that year, I would not have said that. But reflecting back, that was the best year of my life.
Don't know what you have till you lose it.
Yeah.
But
I didn't lose it. I left it.
yeah, till you don't have
And
it.
I could get it back. Shout out to my principal. She said, anytime you want to come back, hit me up.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, let's go over your events coming up the next week, starting this Thursday. You said
Yep.
so already. Drop happening.
The drop is
If
live.
you are watching this, that means that drop is there. Hopefully
Yeah.
not sold out.
And after this podcast ends, I'm signing up for the event that is coming tomorrow for you guys. It's on Friday at TM Fieldhouse. Don't even know the hours, to be honest. Literally don't even know the hours. I got to go sign up for it. I've been procrastinating that. So, yes, I'll be there. Just vending, not doing anything big. But anyways, Saturday from 9 to 1, Raymore Nutrition. Pull up. We got the Cheetah shirts. They're restocked. They'll be there. You guys been asking for them. They're back, baby. I told you guys they were coming back. Gosh, I'm losing it today too. They're back at Raymore Nutrition. And then on, what is it, Monday? Yep. Monday we'll be in Raintree right here in Lee Summit. We'll be at the Raintree food trucks from 4:30 to 7:30 for our second of 4 Raintree food truck events. You know what? Now that I say that, I think that's the first of 4 remaining.
Yes.
I think we had 5 total.
You have 5.
That's what it is.
Because there's 5 Tuesdays on
So it's the second of 5. There we go.
Yeah.
Second of 5. Pull up on Monday. And then I think that's it until the next time we see you guys. So, yeah, I don't know. Part of me wants to start doing these at the beginning because then I can look at my thing and know what I'm, because I feel like I'm forgetting one. If I'm forgetting one, just whileiwl.tour on Instagram. I'll post a flyer. Anyways.
All right. Well, that is this episode. I think it was a good one. Got very nostalgic. I think that there's a lot of opportunity with how long we've been friends and just how many good experiences we've had to have a lot of episodes like this that kind of reminiscing. So,
Yeah.
like you said, talk about his teaching memories, talk about different specific pockets. This one was a little more broad, a little focused, that kind of thing. But yeah, again, appreciate you all for listening. I'm always going to say it, if you're at this point where you're still watching, appreciate it. Make sure you comment, interact, let us know what you want to hear, and we will see you all in the next episode on the FlyZone podcast.
Love you guys. Peace.